nerds. Welcome to Theories and Conspiracies. My name's Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and I am here to walk you through the world of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I'm not giving you a recap. I'm not just going to explain what happened. I'm talking to you about the things that happened behind the scenes, in the shadows of this episode, and hopefully through this show in its entirety. So I'm going to talk to you about what I think is really happening and where they're leading us. And it's going to blow your mind, so just hang on. You're in for a ride. So obviously the first theory that everyone's going to be talking about is, what is Coulson? Who is Coulson? And I think the obvious answer is the real one. He is a life model decoy, an LMD. Now these come straight out of the comics. If you watched the Avengers movie, it was referenced. It was a throwaway line by Tony Stark. Coulson's coming up the elevator trying to call him, and he's like, "Oh, you've reached a life model." Yeah, these things exist. They are decoys that are controlled by an agent, sent into dangerous positions, situations, things like that. And Nick Fury uses them all the time. These are real, and I think that's what Coulson is. I back this up with evidence from the scene at the train station when the door gets shot off the van by Mike, and he ducks it like nobody's business. He's out of the way in Matrix-style bullet time. Not possible for a human. The other agent, who's the best of the best James Bond guy, is on the floor rolling out of the way because that's the best he could do. But Coulson, I'm just going to bend at the knees, limbo under that, and he's fine. Totally a life model decoy, and I think as the season goes on, you will agree with me because he's going to be doing stuff that no human has any right doing. We will find out by the end of season 1 the true story for Coulson. At least that's what they've told us. We'll see if that actually stays true. So there's Coulson. I'm banking on that. I will take bets, but for beer or something like that. So next, we're going to talk about Mike and his son. Now, this one, I don't think anyone is really looking forward to this, or not looking forward to this, expecting this. I think they're going to use Mike and his son in the future. I think they're going to use him to introduce the Young Avengers, specifically through his son, who will become Patriot. Patriot is kind of in the styling of Captain America. Now, when Mike was shot with the night-night gun, the belief is that it got rid of all of his powers. I don't think that's what happened. I think it only got rid of the extremis. I think he still has the other stuff from the super soldier serum and the gamma radiation, in his body. And I think that's going to get passed on to his son, who we will come to know as Eli. Now, we know Sky erased their identities, but we don't know what their new identities are. Now, I am fully believe that they will be the Isaiah and Elijah Bradley, or Eli Bradley. And Eli Bradley does become the Patriot. There's some backstory there that I'm not going to get into. This is the Patriot right here. But it's going to involve, he needs a transfusion, he has to get it from his dad, and that's how the powers will be passed into him. Then he will don the Patriot costume. It's far-fetched, but I think they're going to keep that door open because it could be great. The Young Avengers is a great line, and it ties directly in with a lot of the Avengers stuff, especially with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. But, that's for another day. Third theory is about the shadow organization that was funding Project Centipede. There's a few options for what it could be, but I think really there's only one likely. It could be AIM, but that's too much with Iron Man 3, and it would be too overplayed, so I don't think it's AIM. Could be Hydra, but again, that's more that with Captain America, they will probably come back into play later on, but I don't think it's them. Could be the Hand, but it's really not their styling, but we will probably see the Hand pop up every so often. It could be the Zodiac, but they're kind of an obscure group, but they're my second most likely. But really, I think it's Kingpin and his big crime syndicate. Kingpin is mostly known as a Daredevil villain, and Marvel did just get the rights back to Daredevil. So he's fair game. And he is a, for street level kind of heroes and kind of the agents, he is a perfect option. Stationed in New York, he's like a big mafia boss, and he's got the influence and the potential and the assets to be this big shadow organization. So it makes sense. Plus, that does open up the door for introducing the Marvel Knights characters. Punisher, who they just got back, Daredevil, who they just got back. You can easily bring in Iron Fist and Luke Cage into this kind of street level brawlers. I like this theory, and I think you're going to see that it makes sense, and I think we're going to get a good take on Kingpin. And my fourth theory, this is about Melinda May. Ming-Na plays her. She's awesome. She's badass, but we don't know what happened. She was clearly a field agent, and something happened that she took herself out. She did not want to be in the field anymore. So there's a few ways this could go. A, she got hurt, which I don't buy, because she's still at the top of her game. B, she let somebody get hurt or killed. Maybe she was protecting a witness, protecting someone close to her family, something. They got killed, and so she was doubting herself or something, pulled herself out. I don't really buy that one as much either. I'm kind of thinking she was an undercover agent in a situation, possibly in the Kingpin's organization. She was trying to take him down. She had the evidence to do it, but then because of the Kingpin's influence with politicians and even just corrupt agents, I think she got backstabbed, or the rug pulled out from her and she was told to abort, all this stuff. And so she got fed up with it and got into the situation of stapling, filing, all that stuff. I'm not too sure about that one, but it's got to be one of those three, I think. Those are the only ones that make sense to me. Do you agree? We'll see. I mean, we've only had one episode. Anything could change my theories. I'm pretty sure on the Coulson one, but anything could be a game changer. Tell me what you think. Hit up the comments. Make sure to come to our blog. Check out goodnerdbadnerd.com. But hit up the comments. Let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you don't agree, shut up. If you agree, thank you. But we'll be back here next week after episode 2. So from Theories and Conspiracies, this is Brian from Good Nerd Bad.